Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is day 2 of the Detroit International Auto Show. If you missed yesterday's vlog, we went over the brand new GT500. That thing is absolutely wicked. Also did a walkthrough through most of the show, but we haven't gotten to some very, very important cars like the Toyota Supra that I want to document today. Now, all of the press presentations are done, which means it's a little bit more relaxed today. There's going to be less people at the show and more opportunity to go over some of the cars. I wanted to start off with something that you probably wouldn't expect, and that is 2 of the coolest concept cars I've seen in a while, and they're from Infiniti. Check this out. So this is the Infiniti Prototype 10, which is a design exercise to show what is capable in the future for Infiniti's performance vehicles that are fully electric. So they are really pushing fully electric. We'll go over the QX concept as well, another electric vehicle. But look how awesome this is. Its design language is styled based on classic speedsters. It's only got 1 seat, very, very driver focused, and actually looks pretty similar to the Ferrari SP1 and SP2. Look at the shape of this. Really cool wheel design as well. Look how low profile those tires are. Take a look at the very uniquely shaped steering wheel with a built-in digital display. This very small windshield there. Concept cars are always such a sore spot for me. It's like a blessing and a curse. This is one of the coolest cars that I have ever seen, but of course Infiniti isn't actually going to build a road legal version of this. Now, Ferrari has done their best at basically making one of these legal to be driven on the road, but I hope that someday Infiniti does actually pull through and create some sort of sports car reminiscent of this style. All right, let's go over to the QX concept. Behind me is Infiniti's QX concept, basically figuring out what the next generation of all-electric SUVs could potentially look like. The design language of this is beautiful, but the interior is unreal. I'll show you that in a second. Let's do a little walk around of the outside. Really sharp headlights. Those wheels are fantastic. Check out the interior of the QX concept. Look at these beautiful screens flowing together in one panel. Steering wheel with a digital display inside of it. And just the mix of all the materials from gold chrome to cloth to leather to almost marble. Check out the sunroof. That is spectacular. Beautiful environment, you know, really good. That has to be one of the coolest interiors I've ever seen in any car, including concepts. I wish they could just do that and put it into production, but unlikely. I will say Ford did a fantastic job with the carbon fiber work on the wheels as well as the rear wing for the GT500. It's literally perfect. It's so crazy seeing carbon fiber wheels, but I guess it's the way of the future. The only big issue I see is what happens if you actually curb a carbon fiber wheel? It's not like you can add a little bit of extra material and then sand it down. I wonder if you just have to live with it or completely get a new wheel. Kia Forte rally car, I'm down. That's badass. Check that out, hood position exhaust. Another cool part of the auto show is it's not just auto manufacturers. You see a bunch of part suppliers. There's ZF over there, who's currently the king of transmissions. And then we've got Surefly, this hybrid electric helicopter that has a flight time of 2 hours. Looks pretty cool. It looks like a massive drone. Look at that. Wow, the entire thing is carbon fiber. Check this out, guys. It's called the Quad Robot. Now, the chassis on the bottom can be swapped out to have 2 different vehicles, one for package delivery in China and then one for an actual passenger vehicle. This is the coolest package delivery vehicle I've ever seen. Lexus unveiled the LC500 convertible. Absolutely stunning. That's actually a car I didn't think I would like nearly as much as I did until I drove it. I actually drove it on track. It wasn't bad.
It's totally lit.
It's totally lit.
Champion Fernando Alonso. It's totally lit.
Better than ever! Thank you very much!
Well guys, it is finally here, the all-new Toyota Supra. 5 years ago, Toyota teased us with the FT1 concept for what was to come from the brand. Now finally, 5 years later, we have the full production model. Although it's been leaked so many times, it almost doesn't feel like a full reveal. But now we've got all of the specs and data on the car for you guys. It's been over 20 years since the Mark IV Supra ended production in the United States, a car that became famous for its performance, how easy it was to modify, the amount of power that 2JZ engine could take, and of course its appearance in movies like The Fast and the Furious. So does the Supra name live up to the previous generations? Today we're gonna find out just that. The Supra shares the same powertrain and platform as the all-new 2019 BMW Z4. It was a joint venture between Toyota and BMW, kind of like when we had the FRS and the BRZ. Although after mid-2014, when they agreed on the wheelbase, the width, and the A-pillar location, Toyota and BMW stopped their communication to make sure that the Supra and the Z4 were very different from one another. Toyota's own Gazoo Racing division designed and tuned this car to have completely different handling characteristics and its own design language. Under the hood of the Supra is a BMW-derived 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 that makes 335 horsepower and 365 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. Yes, that's right. As of now, the only transmission available will be an automatic. But because of that, it's able to do 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 4.1 seconds. The only engine available as of now in the United States is that inline-6, which is the perfect engine to be the successor to the Mark IV Supra. Now, in the Japanese market, they're going to have an additional 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, like in the base model Z4. That's not yet coming to the United States, and it might not whatsoever. Curb weight of 3,397 pounds. It's actually quite light and has a nearly perfect 50-50 weight distribution, which means driving this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. Styling-wise, the Supra does share some cues with the FT1, although let's be frank, it's not quite as pretty as the concept. One of the most notable changes is the additional grille in the middle of the front fascia for more cooling. The headlights are absolutely stunning though and look nearly identical to the ones in the concept. Below that, we've got a relatively aggressive front splitter to enhance the design and a bit of downforce. But up here on the hood, we have one bit of disappointment. Although this line looks very cool, as does the vent, it's not actually functional. The side profile of the Supra is amazing. All of the lines and undulations help make the rear quarter panel look enormous, especially this S-curve here that flows into the rear of the car, makes it look really beefy and wide, and looks like a design element you'd see on perhaps a supercar, not necessarily a Toyota. We've also got the double bubble roof design, which is reminiscent of the 2000 GT. really cool looking. We've got 19-inch wheels on the Supra wrapped in Michelin Pilot Super Sports, 255s in the front and 275s in the rear. We've also got 4-piston Brembo brakes in the front. The Supra has double joint front strut and multi-link rear suspension, as well as a torque vectoring rear differential. Let's go around to the rear of the Supra. We've got this beautiful integrated ducktail spoiler on the deck lid that's pretty reminiscent of the Mark IV Supra. Now below that, gorgeous taillights as well as an aggressive rear diffuser. We've got the GR logo there and almost an F1 style rear brake light setup. And of course, because it's got that BMW derived inline six, it sounds absolutely awesome. On the inside, things are very similar to what you'd expect in a BMW. We've got BMW's iDrive setup, this turnstile. You'll notice very, very similar controls there. Same with the gear selector as well. But the graphics on the screen feel and look like they're straight out of a BMW, which isn't a bad thing whatsoever. We've got this long sweeping vent in the front dash area. Over in the driver's seat, we've got steering wheel mounted paddles, as well as a range of buttons for setting the volume, as well as the cruise control. The steering wheel is nice, although I'd expect something a little bit sportier in the Supra. Feels a little bit thin to my liking. I do like the carbon fiber accents in the center tunnel here, and this divider does make it feel like it's a driver-focused cockpit. Now check out the front display. We've got this large 8-inch display here that's differentiated by a 3-dimensional piece for the tachometer. It's kind of a mix of analog as well as digital. The base price of the 3-liter Supra is $50,920. That's after a destination fee of $930, so it does come at just below 50 grand. That's within $200 of the 4-cylinder BMW Z4. So you're getting a lot more power, a better engine in this for the same price as the 4-cylinder Z4. The base car comes with a 6.5-inch display. This is the larger version, which I'll talk about in a bit. Adaptive dampers. It comes with faux suede seats, as well as automatic emergency braking. In case you're going along, not paying attention, the car senses there's a vehicle stopped ahead, it will actually apply the brakes and bring you to a complete stop. Very handy. For $2,460 as an option, you can get navigation and JBL speakers. Then we bump up to the next trim level. The 3-liter premium Supra starts at $54,930, comes with this upgraded 8.8-inch display, as well as heated leather seats, a heads-up display, and 12-speaker JBL audio. Lastly, there is the Launch Edition Supra for the first 1,500 cars to enter in the United States. Those are going to come with red mirror caps, a red interior, black wheels, and also a little insignia on the dash letting you know which number car you have. They launched the Supra in 2 different colors. This is Renaissance Red, but the Phantom Matte Gray that I just went over is definitely the color to get. I do have to say, the Supra does look better in person than in the spy shots and the pictures online, but I am not completely in love with the front end. The rear, however, I think they did a fantastic job. Here we've got the Toyota Countach. That is wild. Well guys, as many of you have seen, they had the initial prototype drives of the Supra back when it was camouflaged in Spain. Well, now we're getting the world's exclusive first drive of the Supra uncovered. It just happens to be on a simulator, but we're gonna pretend it's the world's first exclusive drive of the new Supra. Get ready for the world's first exclusive drive of the Toyota Supra. Some booths go absolutely all out at the auto show for the debut of the Kia Telluride. They've created this totally different environment to the rest of the show. Looks like it is out in the wilderness, and there's a driving experience you can do. I think we're gonna skip it though, where you actually drive around on the dirt. Imagine how much it costs to set this up. So this is pretty crazy. I am really stoked for my friends. Remember when I did the Rally Kings rallies? You OG subscribers will know the rallies that I used to do in Michigan, did it in the Huracan, did it in the Gallardo. They've actually got an enormous setup on the floor at the Detroit International Auto Show. They have so much space, it's almost bigger than Chevy's display, but a ton of cool cars. We got my boy Troy's GTR over there, new wrap. Apparently Ty totally changed up his E46 M3 as well. Let's check that out. For Loco wrapped 911. Here is Ty's M3 that used to be Phoenix Yellow. Now it's wrapped in a brewery scheme. Actually looks pretty cool. He's converted this thing into a drift car. I don't know what the latest and greatest on that is, but let's go ahead and look inside. Hydraulic handbrake, awesome. Cool cutaway of a Hellcat motor. You can see the pistons moving there, come around to the side. You can actually see the twin screw supercharger moving. That's pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome. 1968 Dodge Supercharger concept. Check out the front of this beast. Love the way the headlights look. The inner headlight is hollowed out just like we got on the Demon. Look at this in the back. They've routed the exhaust through the rear taillights. That is cool. The WRX STI has finally gotten the power increase that it deserves with the all-new STI S209. It's powered by a 2.5-liter turbocharged flat 4, but there's more boost pressure than before, bumping horsepower up to 341. It's also 1.7 inches wider than the standard STI, which means it can be equipped to larger tires. Those tires are fitted onto beautiful 19-inch gold BBS wheels that look stunning against the white paint job. We've also got some pretty cool technology, including a driver-controlled water spray that's activated via a paddle behind the steering wheel to cool the intercoolers. We've got aggressive dive planes up front, this beautiful wide body design, and a massive rear wing. Let's go ahead and hop into the interior. Oops. Unlike all of the other cars that were revealed at the auto show, this one comes only with a traditional 6-speed manual. Check this out. Why are there paddles on the steering wheel in a manual car? Well, that is the intercooler spray. Well, I've never seen a mode called Sport Sharp before. Nice supportive Recaro seats. We've also got new shocks, stiffer springs, and upgraded 6-piston Brembo front brakes. Behind me, they're building an obstacle course for Ford trucks to drive on, and then apparently people are gonna be wearing VR headsets in the passenger seat to simulate some kind of crazy experience. I'd like to see that, and they've got a jungle gym. Check out these 80 V1 wheels on this Aventador. Those are sick. Well guys, that concludes the 2019 Detroit Auto Show. Basically, the two main focal points were the new GT500 as well as the Toyota Supra. Seriously, if you haven't watched the GT500 video yet, I highly recommend doing so. That car looks absolutely awesome. Not gonna lie, a little bit underwhelming this year with the turnout. It's incredible how many manufacturers, especially European ones, decided to bail. But apparently next year, they might actually be doing this in the summer instead of the winter and doing it outdoors, so totally different style of car show to try and attract more people. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the new Toyota Supra in the comments below, what you think of the looks, the powertrain. Is it going to be as modifiable as the previous generation? Probably not, although I did hear rumors for the 2-liter 4-cylinder version. It might have engine mounts that align perfectly for a 2JZ, so you can do engine swaps. It's also cheaper, but of course we might not be getting that in the United States. All right guys, see you next video.